Okay, so finally we have some progression in this episode, and I have to say I appreciate it. After the slog that was the last two episodes, this one finally gets things going more and more. We see Audrey getting her most desperate. We see Noah beginning to suspect his best friend. We see Emma and Kieran having more relationship stuff and going behind each other's backs. We see what the sheriff is doing. We see what Brooke's father, the mayor, is doing. We see what Brooke is going through. There's just a lot packed into this episode, and it's pretty good for the most part. The characters and actors are on point, and I really appreciate that because this series has been dragging the last two episodes. It started out good in the first three episodes of this season, and then had been limping until we finally got to this episode, and stuff finally happens. I'll have a spoiler section at the end of this video, but for now, no spoilers for the most part. I say I have to like what Brooke does in this episode for the most part as a character, maybe not her actions entirely, but as a character, and her actress is on point with how she was portraying and acting. Brooke is rather manipulative, and this is her at her most manipulative. We really see what she's going through and how kind of broken she's become with everything that's happened. But there is one flaw with her in this episode, and that's how much they're trying to force her together with the sheriff's son. And it's not working at this particular moment. He's still a creepy motherfucker, but it's not working at this particular moment just because they're wanting her to mourn Jake, but they're wanting to put her with the next eye candy. And we get to see him without a shirt, and he's eye candy a bit now. Guys, wait a few episodes, let her mourn, and let it develop a little bit more besides a foot rub, letting her trust this guy a little bit more. Just make it more organic. You have 3 more episodes, so you don't have to rush that. You do need to have more progression and other things, but you can develop that a little bit more to where I can care more. But other than that, I like Brooke in this episode. As for the sheriff's son, he's a prick. He's an artistic prick, but he's a prick. He views himself as this dark author, and he's just a prick. And of course someone's going to be upset that you're drawing all of their dead friends whenever they're dead. You could at least tell her that. And then you get in her face about it. But that's more spoilers, so I won't go into that. He did get into her face at the end of the last episode. Emma and Kieran are potentially reaching a breaking point now because they go behind each other's back in this episode. I'll go into how in the spoiler section. But let's just say they're more awkward with each other now. I don't know how much they trust each other now. And we're just left wondering how long that relationship's going to last. Speaking of relationships and wondering how long they're going to last, Audrey and Noah come to a pivotal moment in their relationship in this episode, which I will get into spoiler section of this review, so don't worry about it. But let's just say that entire thing gets really progressed in one episode, and I appreciate that. Minus some stupid trauma here and there that's not needed with these characters. God damn it, MTV. The Brooke's father, the mayor, is doing some shady stuff, and we're left really curious about what he's doing. As is the sheriff who knows that the mayor was in contact with Jake but hasn't told anybody. He's also suspecting Emma, and he seems to have Kieran a little bit more wrapped around his finger every single time they're together. Other than that, besides spoilers, I just have to say, go watch this episode. It's really good. There's some final progression. And this is your last warning about spoilers. And let's see, 3, 2, 1, bye, Mr. Branson. They cut off his hand, and then they did a freaking iron to his hand. Just, that was if he's dead. If he's not dead, he just got Jaime Lannistered. But I think he's dead. We just probably won't know for a couple episodes because they'll want to drag that out. And I have to say, I think the mayor might be responsible, or they might be hinting at it, because that looked like Kieran's aunt in there because of because it was very obvious that the killer had breasts and he had her go do something. And he obviously very much cares about his daughter, and he is rather worried about Mr. Branson. So that's just I think he had her kill, or at least send a message. Actually, yeah, he probably sent a message to Mr. Branson Mr. Branson's not going to be the next episode. He's just going to be scared and he's going to run away. But that's going to be revealed to be Karen's Antoinette, I guarantee you. Because it makes no sense and everything. We need to see more of the actual killer, because we haven't seen definitive anything from him since when he put in Emma's backpack and that text he sent Audrey at the beginning of the 4th episode, and whatever the hell that weird stuff he sent to them in the 4th episode as well. But Audrey and Noah also have relationship progress, and Audrey is finally forced to spill seemingly some of the beans. I don't think she's telling everything, because there's no way she's telling everything. She's the one that brought Piper into the town. They both researched the stuff. It's very obvious that it was one of them that broke into the police station way back in episode 1. And she says she feels guilty because she suspected that it might be Piper, and she believed that it wasn't Piper, but then Piper turned out to be the killer. So Audrey's might be this poor girl just kind of stuck in all this, or she could be more. Because why would she want to hide? We've seen what she's capable of. She might be more deep into this than we might be suspecting. But Noah, what he does, I wonder if he intentionally left a recording of what Audrey said on, and I wonder if it was live, or I wonder if that was just a recording and he sent it to someone, because that's going to be a curious thing for next episode. And also what happens to Mr. Branson next episode, and what Kieran did when he made a deal with the sheriff. Because Emma seemingly keeps hearing and seeing maybe someone that's not there. Because maybe the killer wasn't there near the end. Also, why does Audrey have her Brandon James mask and hood? That makes me suspect her even more. So it's overall, they're doing a good job in making me wonder who actually is the killer. It can't be Kieran, but he was there, so it leaves you guessing. And he's clearly worried about Emma and everything, and about all the action she's taking. But she went behind his back to go there, and so he's going behind her back now. So just overall left wondering, where is this going? For finally, after 2 episodes, Scream has finally got back on track. The Scream TV series has finally got back on track, and I appreciate that. Other than that, nothing to say, but maybe like this video, dislike this video, and subscribe to my channel. Other than that, later.